Hello students, today I am going to teach class 8 geography, chapter 2, population dynamics. I am Mrs. Prisha Singh from Mount Carmel School, Bagmugalia, Bhopal. Now let us learn the meaning of population. Now all the people who live in a particular area is referred to as the population of that area. Now people are nation's greatest resources because it is the people only who convert the natural resources into more useful resources. All the economic activities in a country revolve around the people. The people are the creators, the producers, and the consumers. Now let me explain this with the help of an example. The farmers. The farmers are the ones who grow crops, or we can say who give the raw materials to the industries. Alright, let's take the raw material cotton. A farmer grows cotton and he gives that cotton is then given to the industries, where the industries they use this cotton for producing goods. And then finally, when these goods are produced, these goods are sent to the market for selling purpose. Hence, from this example, we can clearly understand that the people are the creators, the producers, and the consumers. Healthy, educated, and motivated people develop resources as per their requirements or as per their needs. Hence, we can say that people of the country are considered as most important and significant resources of a country. Now let's learn the topic distribution of population in the world. The way in which people are spread in the world across the earth's surface is known as the pattern of population distribution. As you can see in this image, children, you can see that the people are distributed or spread in the world, alright, in an uneven manner. Can you see, are these people spread across the world in an evenly manner? No. The distribution of population in the world is extremely uneven. Some places are more populated, some places are less populated. Now, what are the reasons behind such a distribution? There are certain factors upon which the distribution of population depends. Number one, geographical factors, climatic factors, economic factors, and availability of resources. Now let us learn about these factors in depth. So the first one is your geographical factor. Now geographical factor is the most important factor which affects the distribution of population. Generally, mountains and plateaus are not highly populated or do not have a high density of population due to the lack of basic facilities. Mountains and plateaus also have other problems such as cold climate, lack of agricultural land, lack of transport and communication facilities. On the other hand, plains such as Ganga, Brahmaputra in India, Wangho, Chanjiang in China, and Nile in Egypt are densely populated. Now people prefer to live in plain areas as everything in plain areas is easily available and life is very comfortable in plain areas. The climate is favorable, you have agricultural land, the soil is fertile, alright, you have plenty of water. Hence, the people prefer to live in those areas where the life is comfortable. Second point is climate. Now, some places we see that the temperature is very high, and in some places the temperature is very low. This makes this area unfit for habitation, or the people do not prefer to live in such places where the temperature is extremely hot or it is extremely cold. Now, rainfall also affects distribution of the population. Where there is plenty of rainfall, you will find that that area is densely populated. Whereas there is less rainfall, those areas will be sparsely populated. Hence, we can say the climate also affects the distribution of population. The next factor is the economic factor. Now, economic factor like development of industries, technological developments, urbanization, means of transport, and communication have a direct impact on the density of population. Industries attract large number of workers, which results in the increase of population. So where you will have a lot of good job opportunities, alright, wherever there will be industrial development, where we will have good transport and communication facilities, people would want to go and settle in those areas. And the last one is availability of resources, where the availability of soil, fertile soil, alright, availability of water, availability of minerals, alright, good climate, where all these things are there, people would want to go and stay in those areas, as life will be very comfortable in those areas. Alright. Next topic is density of population. So the number of persons living per unit of land is called density of population. Now children, remember, the density of population is not same throughout the Earth's surface. Alright, the population varies from area to area. Let me give you an example. Some areas have more than 1,000 persons living on 1 square kilometer of land, whereas there are many areas where the population is very, very less, or we can say it is uninhabited. Alright, let's read some facts. The estimated global population in the year 2000 was 7.5 billion. The density of population according to 2011 census, it is 382 persons per square kilometer. And the state in India with highest density of population is Bihar. Now, on the basis of density of population, the areas can be divided into 3 categories. The first one is area of low density. Now, areas having a population density of 1 to 2 persons per square kilometer are known as areas of low density. The areas of moderate density, where the population density below 200 persons per square kilometer, are known as areas of moderate density. And area of high density, areas having a density above 200 persons per square kilometer, are known as areas of high density. Now let's see what all places come under areas of low density. Now, hot deserts like Sahara, Kalahari, Atacama, and cold deserts like some parts of Canada, Greenland, Antarctic, Gobi, etc., Amazon basin of South America, and Congo basin of Africa are the main areas of equatorial region which have low density. Now, the reason for this low density is that these areas, the climate is very humid and it has high temperature. Plus, in areas like Amazon basin, all right, all these areas, the forests are very, very dense. Hence, it is not possible for people to live there. Because of these reasons, the area have low density, all right, or the population in these areas is very low. Next is areas of moderate density. Now, South India, western part of China, Denmark, Norway, western parts of USA have moderate density of population. Next, areas of high density. Now, these areas are Monsoon Asia, Europe, and eastern part of USA. The Monsoon Asia includes countries like China, India, Bangladesh, Singapore, Japan, Korea, etc. European coastal parts of USA and Canada have also have a very high density of population. Now, these areas have high density of population because now over here the availability of resources will be good, or there will be abundance of resources. Hence, these areas have high density of population. Now, let us learn some types of population. The first one is optimum population. What is optimum population? When there is a balance between population and the available resources in a particular area, then that condition is known as optimum population, where the resources is equal to the population. Only in nature, there should be a state of balance between population and the available resources in a particular area. Only then can the available resources meet the needs of all the people living in that area. This is called optimum population. Alright children, where there is a balance between the resources and the population. When this balance, alright, is deviated, or if there is a deviation from this condition, then it gives rise to two conditions. Number one, overpopulation, and number two, underpopulation. Let's study what is overpopulation. When the population of an area is more than the available resources of that area can support, the condition is called overpopulation. Now, there are three causes for overpopulation. The first one is increasing birth rate. The second one is decrease in the death rate. And the third one is migration of people to that area, meaning people are migrating or coming from other places to that place. Alright. Under such conditions, that place will be known as overpopulated. Now, what is the impact of overpopulation? The first impact is depletion of natural resources. Now, overpopulation puts pressure on natural resources such as cultivable land, fresh water and mineral resources, and result in their depletion. Now, if the population is increasing, naturally we will require more land area for agricultural purpose to grow more crops, so that enough food is there to feed the population. Alright, so for that, where will we get the land? So for that purpose, the people clear the forest area, hence it leads to deforestation. Alright, now population is increasing, they need a place or a house to live. Where will they live? So forest area is cleared. Alright, wood is collected for making houses. All this leads to depletion of natural resources. the increase in cultivable land through deforestation leads to extinction of plant and animal species, decreased rainfall, and increased soil erosion. Next is depletion of environment. Now the population is increasing. Alright children, definitely they will use more resources. Alright, industries will increase. Alright, so pollution will increase. So with the overuse of coal, resources like coal, oil and natural gas, it has started to produce some serious effects on the environment. Rise in the use of number of vehicles and industries have badly affected the environment. Alright, how they are affecting the environment? They are causing air pollution. Rise in the amount of CO2 emission leads to global warming, and global warming in turn is resulting in the melting of ice caps. Alright, it is resulting in the change of climate. Right. Now the people, in the increasing population, people are misusing the resources. Alright, all of this will lead to depletion of the environment, and because of that we human beings will suffer. The next is rise in unemployment. When a country becomes overpopulated, it gives rise to unemployment, as there are fewer jobs to support large number of people. Rise in unemployment give rise to crime. People, they start to steal food, they start to steal things from others in order to take care of their families. Unemployment also leads to poverty. If a person doesn't have a job, where will he get the money from? How will he earn? And how will he take care of his family? How will he feed them? Alright. So overpopulation also leads to rise in unemployment. Next type population is underpopulation. Now it is a type of population that is less than the available resources, meaning the people are less and the availability of resources is more. Now what are the causes of underpopulation? Decrease in birth rate, increase in death rate, and the people are migrating from that area to different other areas. They're moving out from that country to different other countries. So these are the causes of underpopulation. Now what are the impacts of underpopulation? Number one, lower standard of living. Now if there are less number of people, alright, so there will be less hands to work, hence inadequate labor force would lead to lack of production of goods and services. If there are less people to work, then how will they produce goods and services? Right. The next is lack of adequate manpower. Underpopulation results to shortage of labor, with that attendant effect of low investment and income. Third is underutilization of resources. Resources are highly underutilized in a country with low population, means the resources are more, alright, there are abundance of resources, but the people are less to use those resources. Alright. Lack of people. Then the fourth one is lack of people to defend the country. So during times of war, alright, underpopulated country might find it difficult to mobilize enough people to defend their country. Hence, underpopulation also has certain impacts, negative impacts, which affect that country. I hope, children, today's lecture was clear. We stop here. I will continue with the next part, and in that part I will explain the population change. I will explain about the birth rate, death rate, and population pyramid. Till then, children, take care and stay